Yo, come on in, man. Come on in right quick.
Yes, sir. We
Come on
bite.
in. We're not gonna hold y'all, man. We back for another one. We told y'all, man, we had to speak on the quarterback situation just a little bit deeper. Break down Matt Ryan's interview with 680 the fan right quick. Because let's be real. He kept it real like he always do, and he's pretty much, keeping the same tune. He talked about some good points. They asked great questions. Shout out to Brian Finneran, former
Mhm.
Atlanta Falcon. We're gonna work on getting him on the show still. But yeah, we'll see how it work out. But life, man, what's good? What's good?
What's happening?
Yep. So Chris, you know what to do, man. Tell everybody what's up right quick.
I like that graphic. You got Pac as a Falcons fan. Hey, man, you know
Boy,
what it is, man. Like I said, we came on back like we said we would. I want to talk about Matt Ryan and his interview with 680 the fan. So we're going to get into it. Not going to hold y'all long because we know it's getting late. But yeah, man, quick show, quick pop up. Let's get into it.
facts. Miss Christie, what's good? What's good? What's good? So we're gonna break down the interview and probably three main points that we seen for the interview, and we just gonna give our quick comments on like a quick pop up, man. We promised y'all to know another pop up, so we gotta deliver. So as I told y'all, he did an interview with 680 the fan. I did a quick video on it yesterday, and come on, man,
And Tommy Reese would be the
won't do it
offense,
to
I
me.
believe. Now, when you look at this thing, and first talk about what
Oh,
First, he gonna talk about the quarterback, now we're gonna skip quarterback right now.
but Smitty, it
This is
sounds
about
like
Kevin.
you. Oh, there you go.
Next, say what?
Nah, at first you would sound like you was in the water. Well, you back, you back.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back, man. Yeah. Stream. But we gonna see what Matt Ryan had to say right quick about Stefanski, and we gonna roll.
really impressed you about Coach Stefanski? And then are you going to learn this offense like you were like a player? Will you have that enough time or insight?
Yeah.
Or will you have a playbook? Or you just kind of be outside looking in?
No,
I'm always curious.
I've been in the meetings, man. So no, I've been in the meetings. One of the things, I'm doing during this time of the year is making sure that, I'm sitting in offense, sitting in defense, sitting in different position coaches, kind of hearing how they coach, hearing how they teach, doing those things. I think that's been really good. But yeah, there's bits and pieces that I've picked up. I mean, I think you know me. Like, if they're going to have an offense in there, I'm going to know it, right? Like, I want to be able to stand down there and be like, yeah, all right, I like that, I don't like that. And Tommy's been great. Kevin's been great with that. Obviously, it's easier for me in terms of picking up an offense. There's a lot of carryover, a lot of things that we've done in the past, a lot of similar verbiage. Formations are similar to what you and I were a part of. So you got your D's and your T's and those kind of things, and so that part's been good. So, I'm not having them pump me the install the night before. I'm not reviewing it the way I was, as a player, but absorbing it a little more slowly.
Are there things that you've learned over the last few months, several?
And that's interesting that he says that because if you think about what he's saying, if they are doing similar to what they've been doing in the past, that's a positive because that means the players won't have to make a full transition to another entire system. They're just, to me, getting an upgrade over what they had last year and getting someone that can teach them the game properly. So we seen them have flashes last year of being a pretty good offense. And this year, if the offense pretty much stays the same scheme wise, the offense can take just another step forward and go to another level. And that could be scary for the NFL because if we seen Bijan Robinson had almost 2,300 yards from scrimmage, Drake London nearly had 1,000 yards, even though he missed 5 games. Then you look at Kyle Pitts almost had 1,000 yards. So yeah, this offense can be very dangerous. What you think, right quick?
Well, I mean, just transitioning into his position and everything. I just feel like it's a treat to really have a guy like Matt Ryan in this position to be able to not necessarily critique the offense, but at least sit in and see exactly what's going on, hear the verbiage. It's similar verbiage, even like he's understanding it to things that like he's saying, like he's done before. So I think it's a real treat to have Matt Ryan in here, being the president of football, being able to sit in some of those meetings and just, kind of like soak up the offense and be able to understand it and possibly be able to help with the verbiage and get it and convey it to everyone as well, man. It's kind of like a cheat code, honestly, man, because you think about it, it's similar to how remember when the 49ers like first got John Lynch and everything, you got somebody like a defensive minded guy that can kind of sit in on meetings and do some of the similar things. And I feel like, it's a treat, like I said, to have Matt Ryan be able to sit in there and understand what's going on and really, have his own comments.
But let's go back just a little bit to the 2-minute 45-second mark, and it's gonna tie into what he said about the quarterbacks.
Months being inside that building in different parts that.
All right, this is what he's going to say about the quarterbacks.
It's been good. It's been a busy stretch, but it's been a good stretch.
Big change, obviously, in the quarterback room. Kirk moves on to Las Vegas. You bring in Tua Tagovailoa. Michael Penix coming off an injury. What do you expect as president when you get to training camp, watching those guys maybe compete for the first time in a long time? We're going to have an open competition at quarterback.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you just don't know where Michael's going to be at. He's doing a great job. I mean, since I took the job back in January, at the beginning of January, I mean, he's been in there doing rehab, working with our rehab guy, Nick Carapino, who's done a great job with him. Jake File, the athletic training staff, all of those guys have done a great job. But you got to give the player credit. Mike he's been on it, and he looks good. He's done a lot of stuff for us on the field. But Finn, I mean, you can probably speak to this better than anybody. I never went through an ACL, but there's certain milestones that you've got to hit, and the closer you get, the more variability there is because the intensity and the speed picks up. But Mike's in a good spot right now. So as far as expectations, we don't really know what to expect at the beginning of training camp. But, I think with the way both of those guys are working and the conversations we've had with both of them about, I believe quarterbacks should be the most competitive people on your team, whether that's first, second, third, whatever that may be. There's a way to go out there and compete and to, attack the day. But there's also a way to put it away when you go back in. And that's not only the quarterback position group, that's all of them, right? Guys want to be on the field. We kind of respect and appreciate that. And so I think the way both those guys have started the offseason, I think it'll put us in a good spot.
Atlanta Falcons president of football.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Look, he's just being open and honest about the quarterback compensation, period. He said they're, rehab and doing what they need to do. And as I told y'all, no matter how much we like it, Tua is going to start the season because he's already, upright. And there's not no knock on Mike Penix. I heard somebody in my comments earlier say, we just keep trying to knock Mike Penix down. That's not true. We just don't really know what's going on, medical-wise, other than what they're telling us. And until he gets an update on that, he's going to pretty much tell us the same thing. But one thing they can do, and like he said later on, as I showed y'all earlier, with what they're teaching and being in the film room already, getting mentally prepared. Once you hit the field with the ground running and you physically prepared, all of it should tie together. And when you have the right coaches that's teaching you the system and the schemes properly, I don't think you should skip a beat. That's just my honest opinion. But what you think?
Well, I mean, I feel like Matt has really been sticking to the same thing he's been saying from the beginning about, the progression and Michael Penix coming in working hard. And I definitely believe that. I believe he's definitely coming in to work hard because he has to. He definitely still, like you said, the quarterback room should be one of the most competitive, one of the best rooms, if not the best room on the team. And he's absolutely correct. And with that being said, you're going to have that competition, whether it's Tua, whether it's Michael Penix, whether it's Jack Strand, out of all crazy things. But I'm just throwing out just the quarterbacks just for the competition purposes. And, just from his wedding and everything, it seems like he's upright and he's moving. He wasn't doing anything, I think, just crazy. He wasn't like doing the get down, drop down, get no split or nothing, no crazy mess. But, he is moving. So that is a good sign. We're going to see what happens in about 2 months or so. Will he be out there at training camp? Will he not be? It's more so leaning to possibly not. Possibly, so maybe on the practice field, getting some reps in and everything. But will he be full to go? That is yet to be seen. And even Matt Ryan being honest and open, I really feel like this whole regime has been honest and open about, their intentions and their feelings about different subjects, whether it's quarterback, roster building, changeover in the front office, whatever. And, it's just been open and honest. And he's saying, like, we don't know what to expect. And it's because we always talk about, you got to think about how's he going to be when he takes that first hit? How's he going to be when he takes that first snap? All those things factor into it. Chemistry, knocking the rust off, all those things factor in. And we just never know until the player is able to hit the field. And we've talked about that many times here.
Yeah, it's nothing going to change, man. Truth be told, because at the end of the day, they can only do what they can do with what they have. And what I mean by that, these coaches can only coach so far until we get closer to the season. There's only so much that they can do, because you got to think, all of the players are not even here yet. Some of them aren't even at the facility yet, because this is basically for the rookies right now. But the veterans are still showing up, but they don't have to. But when all the veterans show up and all the film sessions go like we think they can go, then yeah, it'll get better.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna get to the last point, man. The last point is he talks about they asked the question about quarterback one going into the season, but he gives us an outlook on how they've been building this offseason on offense and how it could help the Falcons. And I think this could be wonderful points that we all as fans can take pointers from and stream your acting up late at night, man. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm. You already know
we're
technology.
Gonna make it work, right? As they say. But here it is. Let's listen to it right quick. He talks about it.
Collecting dust.
I'm sure they have.
It's not going to be good.
Your thoughts? Look, the big question, a lot of one-year deals, but the big question, quarterback. Is it going to be Tua? Is it going to be Michael Penix? Who's going to win it out? Whoever is going to be the quarterback and wins out the job, you're going to have Bijan Robinson. You're going to have Drake London. You're going to have, a big tight end. What? And then you add Zachariah Branch. What is your thought process on the weaponry available to Kevin Stefanski, Tommy Rees, and whoever's quarterbacking the Atlanta Falcons this year?
Yeah, I think there's some nice pieces. I do. I think there's some guys to be optimistic and excited about. You mentioned, Bijan, and it's like he's such a dynamic player.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car.
Good, get your car out of here.
I know, right? We're going to let that pass before we go on.
Good, get your car.
Play out in the background.
Nah, but yeah, he was about to touch on some major points, man, about our weapons and pieces, man. And I'm gonna see if he says it in this clip or not. But if he doesn't, I have like another point as well. But we're gonna see. I think he might have said it in this clip.
Okay. Yeah, so let's keep this thing rolling, man. We had
one of 5 or 6 in the entire league that has the ability when the ball's in his hand at any time to be able to take it to the house. And so when you have a guy like that, you've got a chance on every snap. But I look at Drake and what he can become for us as a player. I think there's great upside there, and I think he'll continue to grow and improve. I like the signing of Jahan Dotson, a guy that, I'm a massive believer in depth, and I think Kevin Stefanski, Ian Cunningham, we're all aligned on that. It takes everybody. The best teams I was a part of had the best depth.
You're completing passes to 13 different guys in a game. Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I just believe, of course you've got to have these premier players, but if you're going to be successful long term and you're going to be consistent year in and year out, depth is paramount. So when you add a guy like Jahan Dotson, who I'm excited about, I think there's untapped potential with him, and some of it is just the situations he was in, early on, and some of the places that he was. So I'm excited about what he can do. You add Zachariah Branch to it. He's a different skill set, something that's unique. I think that's always a good thing. Like, I think back to the wide receiver rooms that I was a part of, and I sort of like having different pieces. I sort of like having some guys that are bigger, possession guys like Finn, that
Meaning not fast.
no. But yeah, man, to break that down right quick, what he's saying, he's gonna, they're gonna go with the best option at whatever point that we're at when the preseason start, when the week one roll across. But what he's saying about the offense is the piece they build around. He's pretty much saying in so many words, as I said before, he's looking at the teams he's been a part of, how they built them teams, how those teams function at a high rate with a good function. Because you think about 2012 team, me and A1 had a conversation about this off the air. The 2012 team, the way they were built, you had Roddy and Julio, you had Tony Gonzalez, then you had Mike Turner in 2012. Get to the Super Bowl team in 2016. You have a dual threat back in Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, and both of those guys can catch the ball out the backfield. You had Jacob Tamme, who was an unsung hero on that team at tight end, a veteran. You had a strong offensive line. Matt was the quarterback. You had Julio and Mohamed Sanu and Taylor Gabriel. So if you look at that team and the way they built this team with Drake, with Kyle, with drafting Zachariah Branch, who would be a Taylor Gabriel type receiver in this offense, and then you add Jahan Dotson, who he talks about, a receiver that's been on the Eagles. Let me see, the Eagles and the Redskins or Commanders or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I call them.
So when you look at the dynamic of how he's building his offense, he's building it exactly to what he's used to, what he know works, what he know can be successful. All he had to do was get an offensive play caller, offensive minded guy in here to run that same system as to what he ran with Kyle Shanahan. Now he has Kevin Stefanski, Tommy Reese, and Alex Van Pelt to implement that system that he wants to get sufficiency out of this offense out of. So I think he's doing the right thing by building this offense close to what he knows and what he knows can be successful. He said it. You got about 5 or 6 teams or 5 or 6 players that can take it to the house as soon as they touch it. But John is one of those guys, and you have about 5 to 6 teams on offense that can put up points any given Sunday. So you want to be a part of that conversation. So when you look at what he's saying, it just makes total sense as to how he's building this offense from quarterback to offensive line to skill positions. So I absolutely love it. But right quick, man, tell me what you think.
Well, just going back and just thinking about what you're just saying about the pieces again, you do have all these dynamic pieces. And he was definitely talking about that 2016 team when he was referring to just so many guys and like having the variety of pieces and everything. And that kind of like speaks to me as in saying we're going to make sure that, yes, we have the depth with the offensive line and everything, but we're definitely going to make sure we're keeping around the right pieces. And you see that in the undrafted free agents. You see that with getting guys like Branch. And we're going to continue to expand on this offense. And I said myself, I was like Zachariah Branch, but you also have other speedsters. Like you may have like some Cash Jones out there. You still do also have Brian Robinson as well. So you have guys that can help Bijan Robinson and extend the offense. I definitely believe Zachariah Branch is going to be a guy who can be able to extend the offense and still preserve Bijan Robinson, because it's not going to be just all on him. It's just you're adding more pieces and more things that the defenses have to try to audible and have to try to figure out, because you don't know where it's coming. You talked about Jahan Dotson, a guy that I do like. I've always, thought that he just needed some opportunity. And sometimes that's what guys just need, consistent opportunities. and he should be able to get that down here in Atlanta. His name will be called, number will be called on different occasions. So he just got to show his worth, because I do think he's a good football player as well. But sometimes you just get buried behind certain guys and you're not able to really just elevate yourself. So we'll see what he's able to do. And we ain't even got to talk about Drake. I mean, we know that he's going to be here. We know he's the number one option. But having veteran guys like Hooper, having Kyle, you know what I'm saying, you still have the undrafted free agent tight ends as well. So you definitely have the options to run big personnel as well. It's just you think about Tommy Rees, you think about Alex Van Pelt, but you also can't forget about Thomas Engstrom, who also was a former offensive coordinator as well in his own regard. So you have all these different minds. I'll go with the Bill Callahan, who's going to be running the offensive line. These guys, we've put the pieces as far as coaches in place. We just got to get the execution. And as we can get that execution, I think that, the Atlanta Falcons can go somewhere. Despite what people are saying and where we may end up drafting the next year, we have aspirations of playoffs. And we have, I believe, a staff that understands that and understands the assignment. And speaking of understanding the assignment, I wanted to add on a point that we didn't bring up necessarily via the video, but something that Matt did say. And it's really what we talk about here, is about protecting the logo and putting the logo first. He did speak about having love for a lot of guys that are on the team currently, but at the end of the day, he has to make sure that we're putting the best product on the field, the best people in the jerseys. And, he's just going to make sure that he does what's best for the team. That's what you want to hear from your president of football. That's what you want to hear all across the board from your guys that you're putting your trust in to lead the team into the future. So I thought that was very telling as well, that, hey, yeah, I got love for you, but we're going to put the best players out there regardless of what it is. And that speaks to more of the competition.
And that goes back to what we've been saying too. Nobody's safe, and that's what we mean by nobody's safe. If trading a player puts this team in a better position to get the quality players they need and get the draft picks and the cap room that they need to build towards the future, they're going to do that. And any GM, any football president of football, anybody's going to think like that, no matter who you are. So at the end of the day, it's about, getting the players in the right position, getting them on the same page, go out and compete and win every Sunday. But behind the scenes, it's also about building the team from front to back, inside out, anywhere you want to put it. And the best way to do that, if a player comes up for a contract is too much, you can get a good deal for him. You got to ship him off to save that cap money, keep building this team. And Jahan Dotson, as you talked about, it brings me back to a former Falcon, good friend of mine, Terrence Mathis, came over from the New York Jets, wasn't getting the proper playing time, comes to Atlanta, make the Pro Bowl his first year. And the crazy thing about it, he was a receiver and kick returner in New York. He gets to Atlanta, he becomes the number one receiver. Not saying that Jahan's going to be the number one guy here, but he can come in, contribute right away, and have a strong season and help take this offense to the next level. Because think about it, we lost Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney last year, or a year before last, we thought 8 yards from 1,000 yards, making key catches. Remember the Philadelphia game when he caught that bomb, put them ahead, and Jahan Dotson had that same type of impact. But one thing about it, one thing will help him strive is having a number one receiver and a number two target in Kyle Pitts. It's going to give him more opportunity, get more open looks. We know he can take the top off the defense. We know he's a great run after the catch guy. So these are the type players you look for to have a chip on their shoulder that can take this team to the next level. So, and that's one thing about Terrence Mathis. He had a chip on his shoulder coming over from the New York Jets, gets to Atlanta with that chip on his shoulder, takes his game to the next level. So hopefully we can get that same type of motivation, that same type of play out of Jahan Dotson coming over from Philadelphia. So great points, A1. But absolutely great interview. I actually loved it, and I had to watch it twice to get my point straight. But Matt is doing everything he can to try to make this team successful. and put this team in the position to win, and this is exactly what you like. At the end of the day, like Chris said, it's about the logo. It's not about players and names on the back of the jerseys. It's about trying to get that first Lombardi trophy.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying, man. Man. Oh, the day that happens, man, I don't know, man. I don't even know what I'm gonna be doing. I don't even know.
I know what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be on StreamYard acting ass like I always do. Look, we're gonna be on StreamYard for 6 hours. We're gonna be so damn excited.
Man, what?
I'm telling you, boy, look. Man. Miss Drea, what's good? What's good? Yeah, yeah, Mathis was a dog, man. He came over from New York. Pro Bowl season, very first season, his only Pro Bowl, but when he retired as a Falcon at the time, he was leading receptions, leading yards. So yeah. I mean,
man, you know, it was tough for Terrence to make that Pro Bowl, man, with all those guys that was in the NFC, man. It was tough, but yeah, man, definitely a Pro Bowl.
Jerry Rice, Shannon Sharp. I mean, I can keep going. Yeah, it was tough.
Man. It was tough out there. So, you know, you had Michael Irvin, so, you know, you had some guys, but regardless though, man, yeah, Terrence Mathis, definitely one of the reasons why I'm a Falcon fan as far as, and definitely when it comes to wide receivers, one of the first ones that I just seen being able to make big plays like that on a consistent basis. Cause I was a little bit too young for the Michael Hayes things, but yeah, man.
Michael Hayes was another one. Yeah, he was another one. Yeah, Andre Rison, boy, I was alive and well during them times, man. Them teams had to see, they weren't at times those teams weren't good. It was just the aura that they carried that made them want to watch. Because I mean, after 91, I think the only other winning season we had up until 98 was that wasn't a winning season. I think we were 7-9 that season, and I think that was 94. So yeah, I mean, look, I'm telling you, what a time to be alive that was. But yeah, man, but you gotta go ahead.
No, so man, it's been some times, man. It's been some times.
But yeah, man, quick pop-up show, man. We just wanted to talk about this interview right quick, give some key points on it. Anything else you took from the interview you wanted to share before we got out of here?
I mean, just honestly, man, I just appreciate Matt, man, because he talked about it in this interview too. I mean, it's not like a major point, but he talked about how he had a cushy job. He had a great job over at CBS, was given a great opportunity, was expecting to do that for like the next 10 years. But after the whole situation with checking the health check of the franchise and possibly the Falcons looking into adding that position of president of football, engaging him to see if he would be even interested in interviewing for it. But Matt's already said it multiple times. If any other franchise asked him to do it, he wouldn't have done it. The only reason why he's doing it is because it's the Atlanta Falcons. And as a Falcon fan, I can very much appreciate that. A guy who, embodied the franchise, took us to the Super Bowl, multiple Pro Bowls, multiple, seasons, just at least being able to compete, regardless of the ups and downs. So you appreciate that. And he's being away from his family. And, his boys wondering if, it's always going to be like this, or all the different things that he was saying in the interview. So you just got to really just appreciate that he would leave a job, a secure job, at CBS to come be a part of the Atlanta Falcons and to help us get to that first Lombardi trophy like you was talking about.
Yeah, and like I tell y'all all the time, man, what I appreciate about the whole thing is Ms. Drea, thank you for the donation. Truly appreciate it as always. But one thing that I loved about what he was saying about him taking the job, and like you say, he was at CBS, he thought he was going to be there 10 years, but you got to think about what Mr. Blank said as well. Mr. Blank said, I've had a relationship with him for almost 20 years. So what did I tell y'all about Mr. Blank for the last year or so? It's only so many people that he trusts. So I'm telling you, Mr. Blank persuaded him into taking this job, because when you're an owner of a team and you don't trust many people, you're going to put the people around you that you trust the most. And he's one of those guys. And one thing about him, he played the game. He was a quarterback. So he's going to see the game just a little bit different than what defenders see it, defensive coaches, offensive coaches. Just quarterbacks just have a different train of thought because it's so much that they have to soak in. Because think about it. They are the leader of the team. They're the face of the franchise most of the time. So when you have somebody like that in the front office that knows how to carry that type of burden or that type of responsibility, it's a good thing for the organization because they're going to have you on the right path most of the time because of what they saw during their career. And I said it earlier, that's why he's putting together the same type teams that he were a part of when we were winning. So he knows if he put together that type team, we have a good chance to be successful. We have a good chance to be a playoff team, and that gives us a better chance to be a Super Bowl team. So they're headed in the right direction because think about it. Even next year, all the cap space that we have with all these 1-year contracts, they're going to be able to build this team just like they want. You remember when we went out and got Tony Gonzalez, traded for him? Remember when we signed Michael Turner coming over from the Chargers and what he did in his career in Atlanta the 6th season that he was here? They're going to be able to make those type moves next year. So this is what they're building toward. And I'm not saying that this year is going to be a waste, but this year is going to be a building block to get to next year. So we'll know exactly where we stand, which direction we need to go, what position we need to upgrade. And I think that, to me, is a good problem to have.
Facts, bro. I ain't gonna lie, like they excuse me, they had a great interview with Matt, man. Like I said, I appreciated it. And appreciate, like I said, the consistent honesty about, so what the Falcons are doing, things that they're saying. And because I know it's some of the things that Matt is saying, some people didn't appreciate as far as with the quarterback situation, but he's just being open and honest. And about the quarterback situation and about the team period. So I can appreciate it and I can get behind it. And shoot, man, let's just get ready for OTAs because they're on the way. Rookie mini camp, all that good stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see who is going to position themselves to be a Falcon.
Facts. Mr. Drill, thank you for another donation. Truly appreciate you donating to both channels. We appreciate that. As always. My boy T-Tier, we appreciate you, my guy. He said, y'all the hardest working content creators in the industry. We have to give you guys some praise. God bless you too, my brother. We try, man. It's tough sometimes because, life going to throw curveballs, but, you just got to keep pushing, man. And this is a slow time for football. So, eventually me and A1 going to have to start talking Hawks and Braves. So we working on that, in the background. But again, Falcons content, number one. But we also like to talk about other things. But, yeah, man, another great pop-up show, quick 30-minute show. If you just tuning in, man, please go back and check it out from the beginning, and we would definitely appreciate that. And let me say this right quick. If you're watching ads on the playback, please let them play through. That's how we get paid. It's only 30 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds. So let the ads play out. The video starts back. And you can also skip through those ads at certain points. So please watch those ads because that's how me and A1 get paid. But before we get out of there, man, you know what to do.
Hey, man, A1 Forever Sports, that's the platform on YouTube. Go over, like, comment, and subscribe. Be a part of the A1 family. As we be generational because there's always time to be, as well as the Hawks Digest. You can catch me over there as well. About to get back onto the Hawks Digest. Had to take care of a few things, and I was behind the scenes on some things over there too. But Walter and Mike, they've been holding it down, and they were holding it down really the entire playoff series, so salute to those brothers for that. And but make sure you catch us over there, man, because Hawks got a big offseason. They made it to the playoffs. Time to capitalize, try to get better. But also Twitter, A1 Forever, Instagram, A1 Forever, The Real A1 Forever on TikTok. If you're on there, and as always, find your peace. It's 11:20 at night, and even though people Cinco de Mayo and doing their thing, y'all be careful out there if you're out there, or if you're getting ready to go out, whatever you fit to do. Make sure that y'all be careful out there. Make sure you get home safe, and make sure everybody else get home safe. So
Facts.
Salute to everybody in the
Facts.
chat. Appreciate y'all as always. And you know, me and Smitty will be back at you in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's what we do, man. We find news, we talk about it. But again, man, we gonna keep y'all up to date on Hawks, Falcons, and Braves. Ronald Acuna is day to day right now. Could be back soon. We pray he do, but they in Seattle right now. They did lose last night 5-4. But I don't know what the score is right now, but they should be halfway home. Yeah, so they should be halfway home. And I'm telling y'all, Atlanta's had it for something great, man. You got Angel Reese as well in Atlanta with the Dream now. So they're building that team up. So Atlanta, they're headed for a couple of championships. We just got to be patient and just trust these organizations to build like they need to. But our Atlanta Falcons, we know they're headed in the right direction. They have a lot of key pieces in place already. So all they got to do is keep putting things down like they're supposed to. But yeah, y'all know where to catch me, man, at FatBoySlim_21 on Twitter. Also catch me right here on Smitty Sports Machine for the latest news, whether it's Hawks, Falcons, or Braves, or NFL, NBA, or Major League Baseball, because I talk about it all. And look, we're going to catch y'all soon, man, because I'm finna get off this computer, go to sleep, try again tomorrow. As A1 say, find y'all peace. And as I always say, man, keep God first, because that's what we all got to do. We keep God first, everything else will fall in place. But for my boy A1, this your boy Antoine Smith. We're going to sign off and holler at y'all later, man. Peace.
Peace.